Welcome back to Daily English with Lily and Leo. I'm Lily.
And I'm Leo. And today's episode is one I feel very personally about.
Because today we're talking about sleep, and specifically about the very different relationships two people can have with sleep.
I love sleep. Sleep is one of the great pleasures of life. It is the reward at the end of every day.
And I also love sleep. I just have a different approach to it.
You wake up at 6 in the morning voluntarily. That is not love. That is something else.
It's called being a morning person, but we'll get to that. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's completely free. New episodes come out every week, and if you're watching on YouTube, hit the bell so you don't miss anything.
And leave a comment after the episode. Today we want to know, are you a morning person or a night owl? Be honest, we read everything.
Okay, sleep. Let's start with the basics. What time do you go to bed?
Depends. If things are calm and I'm being responsible, midnight. If I get into a game or I start reading something interesting or I fall into one of those late-night internet spirals.
What kind of spirals?
You look up one thing and there's a link to something interesting and then another link and then it's 2 in the morning and you're reading about the history of salt trade in medieval Europe.
How do you even get there?
I started reading about food, salt came up, one thing led to another, very educational.
Very educational at 2 in the morning.
Exactly. Anyway, and you?
I'm usually asleep by 10, sometimes 10:30 if I've had a long day. I read for about 20 minutes and I'm gone.
20 minutes? That is so fast.
When I'm tired, I'm tired. My body is very clear about it.
I get drowsy in the evening, but then around 11, second wind, completely awake again, wide awake actually.
That's a real thing. Some people have a natural alertness peak in the late evening. Your internal clock is just set differently to mine.
So science is on my side.
Partially. What time does Biscuit wake you up?
7, sometimes 6:50. She sits on my chest and stares at me with enormous focus and patience until I open my eyes.
That is adorable.
It's effective. As soon as I open my eyes, she starts purring. She has worked out the whole sequence. Stare, wait, purr, breakfast. She's done the research.
She trained you.
Completely. But here's the thing. Before Biscuit, I used to snooze the alarm 4 or 5 times. Now I get up when she needs me. It's the best sleep discipline I've ever had, and it came in a small orange and white package.
The alarm clock is still on the nightstand, though.
Still on the nightstand. Technically in use, Biscuit usually gets there first.
Progress is progress. What about the mystery box? Any update?
Still sealed. Biscuit uses it as a bed. It is now a piece of furniture. I have accepted this.
And the someday jar?
€4.60. I was very disciplined this week. No coffee raids.
Genuinely impressed.
Don't get too excited. It's Wednesday.
Fair. Okay, back to sleep. Do you have trouble falling asleep? Like lying awake, mind going, can't switch off?
Not usually. When I finally go to bed, I fall asleep pretty quickly. I think because by that point, I've genuinely worn myself out. But I know people who really struggle with insomnia, lying awake for hours, thoughts running, can't stop.
I've had patches of that, usually during stressful periods, a difficult decision, something unresolved. Your brain doesn't want to stop.
What do you do?
I try to wind down properly before bed. No screens in the last 30 minutes. I make chamomile tea sometimes. I read something that isn't news. The idea is that you're signaling to your brain that the active part of the day is over.
I should do that instead of reading football match reports on my phone at 11:30 and then wondering why I'm awake.
Yes, that would help.
In my defense, I only read them when the matches are interesting, which is most of the time.
That's not a defense. Okay, weekends. Do you have a lion?
Saturday lion is sacred, non-negotiable. I stay in bed until 9, sometimes 10, just reading without any pressure.
I can't do lions. My body wakes me up at the same time regardless of the day. 6 on Saturday, 6 on Sunday.
Why? Why would your body do that?
Routine. When you sleep and wake at the same time every day, your body builds a rhythm. It's actually one of the best things you can do for sleep quality.
And here I am building a completely different rhythm. Midnight to 7 with occasional salt trade research breaks.
On a Saturday, though, when you have the lion, how do you feel when you get up?
Rested.
human, ready.
And on a work day after a late night,
Groggy. Definitely groggy. That word is perfect for it. Groggy is when you're technically awake, but your brain is still about 10 minutes behind, like a computer that wasn't shut down properly.
I love that image. Everything loads slowly. It takes a while to catch up.
Exactly that. And coffee helps, but it takes 20 minutes to work. And in those 20 minutes, I am genuinely not sure what year it is.
Sarah is the opposite of groggy. She wakes up at 6 in the morning, even in -5 degrees, and is immediately ready for 3 hours of bird watching.
Sarah is extraordinary. She told me the cold air does what coffee does for normal people.
She said cold, clear mornings have better visibility and the birds are more active. She layered up and went out in the frost before breakfast and said it was one of the best mornings she'd had in years.
I deeply respect that, and I will never do it.
Fair enough. What about dreams? Do you dream a lot?
Sometimes. Football ones quite often. I'm playing at a big match, I score a goal, and no one notices. Every single time.
That's a very specific recurring dream.
I don't want to think too hard about what it means. What about you?
When I sleep well, I don't really remember my dreams, but when I'm stressed or not sleeping deeply, I have very vivid ones. Running through a city I've never been to, or suddenly I'm back at university for an exam I haven't prepared for.
The exam dream. Everyone has that one.
It's so universal. You're in the room, you've forgotten to study, and you sit there completely blank. My brain files the Year 7 presentation under that same category.
You stood in silence.
In front of the whole class, yes. Apparently, that gets stored permanently as nightmare material.
Biscuit twitches in her sleep. Little paws going, small sounds. She's clearly hunting something in her dream.
Probably Gerald.
Definitely Gerald. He has no idea. He just walks around on the windowsill, eating whatever pigeons eat, completely unbothered, while in Biscuit's dream world, she is absolutely winning.
Poor Gerald.
Gerald is fine. Biscuit is strictly indoor now, but in her sleep, full predator energy.
Okay, sleep hygiene. Let's do a proper roundup of what actually helps.
Consistent schedule. Same bedtime, same wake up, even at weekends. I know this one. I am not currently doing it, but I know it's the right answer.
That's the biggest one. Your body responds to routine. When I go to bed at the same time every night, falling asleep is easy. It just happens. When the schedule breaks, everything feels harder.
Temperature matters too, apparently. Cooler room, better sleep.
And no caffeine after about 2 in the afternoon. Caffeine stays in your system much longer than people think.
I learned this the hard way. I had a coffee at 7 in the evening once because I had a deadline, lay awake until 4 in the morning. Next day, completely groggy, couldn't think straight.
And no screens right before bed. That's the winding down part. Your brain needs a transition, not an abrupt stop.
I'm going to try that. Starting after this episode, I will read an actual book before bed tonight and not look at my phone.
I'll believe it when it happens.
Your confidence in me is everything. Okay, vocabulary time. 5 words from today, all connected to sleep and rest.
First word, drowsy.
Drowsy means feeling sleepy, heavy-eyed, not fully alert. It's that sensation when you're fighting to stay awake. Your eyes want to close, your thoughts are slow.
You can feel drowsy in the afternoon after a big lunch or late at night when your body is ready for sleep. Example sentence, she was so drowsy after the long drive that she fell asleep on the sofa before dinner.
Second word, insomnia.
Insomnia is a sleep problem, difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep regularly. It's not just one bad night, it's a pattern that affects how you function during the day.
A lot of people experience insomnia during stressful periods. Exams, difficult decisions, big changes. The mind stays active when it should be resting. Example sentence, she went through a period of insomnia during her final exams. She'd lie awake for hours with her mind racing.
Third word, wind down.
To wind down means to gradually relax before sleep, turning off screens, doing something calm, letting your body understand that the active day is ending.
Wind down is a phrasal verb. You wind down. You can't separate it. I always wind down for 30 minutes before bed. The opposite would be to wind up, which means to become more tense or agitated. So winding up before sleep is very much the wrong direction. Example sentence. I try to wind down in the evenings. No work after 9, just reading or a quiet walk.
Fourth word, lie-in.
A lie-in is when you stay in bed longer than usual, typically on weekends or days off. British English. American English often says sleeping in. Same idea. You have no alarm, no schedule, and you just rest until your body is ready.
My Saturday lie-in is one of the highlights of my week, honestly. Example sentence. After 5 early mornings in a row, she took a proper lie-in on Saturday and woke up at 9:30 feeling like herself again.
Fifth word, groggy.
Groggy is the feeling when you're awake but not really functioning yet. Slow, slightly confused, not quite connected to the world. Usually from not enough sleep or waking up abruptly.
It's a wonderfully specific word. You know exactly what it means the moment you feel it. Example sentence. He'd only had 4 hours of sleep and spent the whole morning groggy, forgetting what he'd just said mid-sentence.
5 words for this week. Drowsy, insomnia, wind down, lie-in, groggy.
Put them in the comments. Use at least 2 of them in a sentence about your own sleep habits. We'd love to see them.
Grammar time. Today's topic is time clauses, specifically sentences using when, as soon as, until, before, and after when we talk about the future.
This is one of those grammar points that feels small but trips up a lot of learners, even quite advanced ones, because the rule is a little unexpected.
What's the rule?
After these time words, when, as soon as, until, before, and after, we use the present simple, not will, even when the whole sentence is clearly about the future.
So instead of when I will wake up, I will make tea, you say when I wake up, I will make tea.
Exactly. When I wake up, that's the time clause, and it uses present simple. I will make tea, that's the main clause, and that's where the future goes.
The will stays on one side only. Let me try one from real life. I won't stop playing until I finish this level.
Perfect example. Present simple after until. And does that sentence describe actual events?
Completely hypothetical, entirely fictional. I would never say that at midnight.
Of course not. Here's one from my morning. As soon as I finish my run, I'll make tea. Present simple after as soon as, finish, not will finish.
Compare it to the wrong version. As soon as I will finish my run, I will make tea. You can hear that it's off, right?
It sounds like a direct translation from another language. A lot of learners put will in both parts because the whole sentence is future. It feels logical. But in English, the time clause part just takes present simple.
So the time clause, the when part, uses present simple. The main result, what happens, uses will.
Let's go through some examples. I'll call you when I get home.
Not when I will get home, when I get home.
She'll start the presentation as soon as everyone arrives.
We won't leave until the match ends. Very important rule. You never leave early.
Before you go to bed, turn off your phone. Before, same pattern.
After Biscuit eats her breakfast, she'll sit in the window and watch Gerald. True story. Daily schedule.
Perfect. Now, until is worth a moment of extra attention. Until means up to the point when something changes. You often use it with negative sentences.
I won't be able to focus until I've had coffee. Every morning.
Don't go to sleep until you've wound down properly. Something I should say to certain people.
Noted.
Until sets a limit in time. Something doesn't happen or keeps happening until a specific moment arrives.
Let me try a quick practice. You give the start of a sentence, I finish it.
Ready. I'll start getting ready for bed.
As soon as this chapter ends. Present simple.
Good. She won't feel less groggy.
Until she has her coffee. Or until she wakes up properly.
Perfect. One more. We'll talk about it.
When you get home.
Exactly. So the rule to remember, when, as soon as, until, before, after, always present simple in the time clause. And the quickest way to check yourself, if you wrote when I will, delete the will. It doesn't belong there.
A useful test. I'm going to remember that one.
One more thing. This works the same way with be going to as your main future. I'm going to read when I get into bed. Still present simple in the time clause.
Okay. Time clause equals present simple, always. Main clause gets the future form. Got it.
Good. Let's move to the motivation section.
Today's episode was really about routines. Not just sleep, but the small habits that build your days. Winding down before bed, keeping a consistent schedule, putting the phone away, getting up when the cat sits on your chest.
The cat method is underrated.
Highly effective. But here's what I keep thinking about. Routines are built in tiny steps. Nobody becomes a morning person overnight. Nobody fixes their sleep in 1 week.
And I think the honest thing to say is a small change tonight is worth more than a perfect plan you start on Monday.
Put the phone down 10 minutes earlier. Read for 5 minutes. Make the tea. Do the one small thing.
Because the one small thing, done consistently, becomes the routine, and the routine becomes the result.
And when you build that habit and it actually works, when you wake up and you don't feel groggy, when you fall asleep faster, when you actually feel rested, that's the 1% that compounds.
1% every day.
1% every day, even when it starts with just turning off your phone.
That's the episode. Thank you so much for listening today.
If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's free, and a new episode comes out every week.
Leave a comment. Morning person or night owl? What time do you actually go to bed? Be honest. We love honesty in the comments. And if you use any of today's vocabulary words, we'll see them there.
Share the podcast with someone who's learning English. It genuinely helps us reach more people, and it costs you nothing.
Sleep well tonight. Wind down properly. Put the phone away.
Starting tonight. I mean it this time.
Good night.
Good night, or good morning, depending on when you're listening.